Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Dean's Fish Tactics. We're here up north and just on a local reservoir. We're gonna target some crappies today, so we'll see if we can catch anything. It's first time out in this reservoir. It's a little bit overcast today. Water temperature is supposed to be 56 degrees, and right now the temperature is probably just hovering above 50. So we're gonna rig a bobber rig. Gonna put about 4 to 5 feet leader between the jig and the bobber. Just the bobber I'm using here. It's the 1/16 ounce green head with a little plastic tube like this. And we're gonna give it a shot. Hopefully we land into some today, and hope you guys enjoyed the episode. So stay tuned and maybe we'll have a few fish today. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Alright, that's the first cast. Nothing yet on the bite, but water looks great. This is our second cast here. Just what we're doing here is just slowly working back the jig and the bobber. Every 30 seconds or so, we'll slowly pull the bobber towards me and just kind of work it. And what that does is just kind of lifts the jig in the water column up and down. And that helps entice the fish to bite. Right now we're looking about May, early May. Actually today's only the 2nd of May. So it's still a little early. Crappies are staging. That means they're getting ready to move in for the spawn. But I would say in the next couple weeks here, once water temperature gets consistent of 60 degrees to 65, the full spawn will be on. And guys, when that happens, crappies will pretty much hit almost anything you throw at them. Sometimes they can be really smart, and then you can throw anything they don't want to bite. So sometimes it also takes skills too, I guess, or I guess sometimes luck. So hoping today it's a little bit colder. There's a cold front moving in. Maybe we'll be able to catch a few hits, hopefully. But crappies my favorite fish to target. I love to fish them every year, and they taste great too. So maybe If I get a few, hopefully today. If not, maybe in the next couple episodes, if I do get any, we'll do a catch and cook and show you guys how I like to prepare those crappies. That was a fish, but I'm hanged up, so no fish. Must be a branch. That's the hard thing about crappies too, because they love to stay in branches, so be prepared to lose some hooks. And I might have to retie here. Yeah. So, yeah, I caught on the brush. That's typical for crappie fishing. You're gonna get that a lot, just because they love to. That's where they come into spawn, is those brush. So, just be prepared to lose hooks and jigs. It's not uncommon, you know. I've even with me fishing many years of my life, I still lose hooks. So always carry extra, especially if you got a tip is if you got plastic that a fish is keying on and they love that plastic that day, make sure you have extra. So we're gonna retie here. All right. So these are just a few different jigs I brought. Kind of show you guys different ones I have that I like to use. So just a couple different ones that I love to use. This one's got a black head with a long pink tail. Just a tube looking jig, black and chartreuse. So crappie, they love glow, they love pink, they love bright colors, orange. They even love like shad looking colors, like, you know, dark to bright. This one would definitely work, you know, green to chartreuse. A lot of different colors. So just experiment different days. Some days that are when it's cloudy like this, they prefer a different color. Some days that's brighter, they might even like a less bright color. So the best thing to do is keep experiments, keep trying, keep changing. So after every few casts, you know, I would say every 10 or 15 casts, you're not catching anything, or you feel like it's been a while, you haven't had any hits, just change the color. Chances are that might do the trick. Also, this is 1/16. I also like to go down to lighter 1/32 ounce jig hooks. So even downsizing the hook size can also help improve fish bite. So when the fish gets picky, don't be afraid of change. Gotta keep trying, change until you find out what the fish wants. So I'm gonna go with this green one here since it's overcast, with a little white body, green head. Similar to the first one, except without the dark gray body. And then I like to tie these. Most people tie a clinch knot, preferably crappie. When you do a clinch knot, the knot makes the hook just starts horizontal like this. But I tend to know that crappies, when they bite, they usually look up, and they like to come up from a 45 degree to hit the fish. A lot of this time, crappie has paper mouth, so it's very easy to rip. So when the crappie bites, when you go on the vertical, horizontal, when they hit this, it's going to catch the top lip. But I like to do a loop knot because it sets the hook hanging about 45 degree like this. What happens when the fish comes like this, the chance of you hooking on the roof of their mouth, which is a lot harder than their paper lip, you have less losing a fish, but you also have better hookups. So what you're gonna do is just thread it through. Hopefully you guys can see this. And I'm just gonna make a loop just like that, and we're just gonna go through it a couple times. So there's 1, 2, and then 3 is usually plenty. Then what you do is you want to wet it a little bit, and you want to just roll it, work the knot down, and then tighten it here. Now you'll see there's an open loop. As you can see, this loop, what that does is when I let it go, it's hanging 45 degrees. That right there, it's a ticket from not losing so much crappies. Alright, so this is going to be our third cast. We're going to cast it here and hopefully continue this fishing. And then forgot to mention to you guys, but still gotta put on the float. So this is the tip float that I like to use. You can get these anywhere from your sporting goods stores. Here locally we got Cabela's and Sportman's Warehouse and even Shields. So I'm just gonna estimate about 4 feet, just about maybe there. That's probably about 4, 1 hand length. I don't know if you guys can see that, hopefully. Then all these are just a clip-on bobber. You push down, it's a clip, give it a couple wraps. You know, I know it's probably hard to see on the camera here, but if you guys are interested, you know, comment, let me know in the comments, and I can make a video for you guys to see of a close-up, and we can zoom in on these tips that I mentioned here today. And we'll do it just in off water, maybe even like, you know, a tip tactic day or something like that, just to give a quick tip on how to rig for things. If you guys like that, give a thumbs up and comment and let me know what you guys like to see, and I'll make some of those videos for you guys to enjoy. Just like that, next clip on, we're good to go. Also, another thing is you can also adjust not only just the jig color, jig head size, but you can also adjust size of bobber. Different bobbers has different sensitivities, and it could also make a big difference on fish number and catches too. Another thing is length. So I mentioned to you guys I started at 4 feet, about here. So what I can do is just, maybe I'll just go down, say that much. Let's just drop it to 6 inches, about a foot. So maybe 3 feet now. Just that little change could also help fish to bite. Because crappie, most important thing is they're always going to look up to feed. They're not, their eyes are set forward and they feed up. They don't like to chase things down. So most of the time, if you're too deep and you're fishing below the fish, you're not going to catch anything. But if you're fishing above the fish, you have more chance of them taking a bite, because they tend to feed up and they'll look up and take a bait, versus spend the energy to go down, look for your bait. So if you're seeing people around you catching, and you know, pay attention to people around you. If they're catching and they're out fishing you, chances are, if it's their length their bobber, their jig color, anything like that will give you a key sign of what changes you need to make. So in this case, I changed a little bit bigger bobber, and I'm also going a bright orange, reddish. So hopefully that will make it easier for you guys to pinpoint the bite and see this bobber in action. So, all right, we've already casted about at least 10 times. Still no bite, but that's all right. So I'm also fishing pretty close here. I'm pretty sure you guys can see my bobber just right above this cable line here. So crappie, like I mentioned earlier, they love to fish structure. When they come spawn, they love to be in structure. As I was casting out there, there's a lot of brush and trees that are submerged in water. So that's their feeding. That's usually their home. They love to come and spawn there and stack up in those brushes. But not sure if you guys can see, but where I'm fishing also today is I'm casting from a dock or a bridge, basically, that's over water here. And as you can see, there's metal structures here. These metal structures create shelter for the fish. So when the crappies come and spawn, they like to feed in the evening, even into the night. So in the daytime, you can catch them too, but you gotta fish close to these brush, close to the docks, any structure that you can find. They're gonna hold tight to that structure. But once it becomes evening, they're gonna come out and feed. So they'll come out 10-15 feet away from structure, and that's where you wanna focus on casting. You'll still catch them in their structure, but they'll give you a better chance to catch them by moving out. But when it's daylight, sun is out, when they're in, they're gonna be sitting tight to these structures. And they can be just from one spot to another spot within a foot distant. So don't want to move far when you're fishing structure. You just want to keep moving your bobber a little bit every few minutes, give it a bob every few seconds, give it a tug, and just kind of work that jig. And even once in a while, if you just pause and just let it sit there, sometimes the biggest crappies, they will sit there and make you wait. And if you're patient enough to wait for the bite, they will sink that bobber real quick. And most of the time, it's either you're in the middle of a phone call or something, or you're taking a bite out of a sandwich, or having some chips, or having drinks. You know, you're doing something and all of a sudden you're distracted, and that one distraction, you turn around, you see your bobber down. So I've caught many fish like that, where I'll be in the middle enjoying a sandwich or something, and all of a sudden the bobber just goes down. Yeah, as you've seen all my other videos too, you know, fishing for trout was the last one on Jordanelle. As you guys can tell, I love to fish with a bobber. Something about a bobber going down just entices the bite and just makes it more fun. I love it when you just move that bobber back and forth, and all of a sudden you just see that bobber go down. It's fun. Alright, let's try cast again. Actually, let's try moving to, let's move a bit. Let's just come down a little bit this way and fish in between this box here. Give it a little bit of line. We're going to side cast into that direction between those cables there. Up towards the shallow, towards the brush. Hopefully I don't get hung up. Alright, we're going to try the left side here. I got one, guys. I got one. Got one. That's a crappie, guys. Alright, guys. I got it on the other GoPro, but I just hooked up into a crappie. That is a crappie there. We did it. We got one. That's awesome. Alright, that's one. So they're here. It just takes a moving around, makes it work, and we're gonna keep that guy for dinner. So it works. Oh shoot. Thank you. Just the first one. What's that?
Oh, it's not a couple in there.
No, it's just one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just a basket. Yeah, I've been throwing all around here. Nothing. I turned around. I just had that first one there.
Catch me a bass. Try to put him back in front of spawn right now.
Yeah, the bass. I was out here a couple weeks ago with my brother. We were doing the kayaks, and about midpoint there, he hooked up with a nice smallmouth.
Really?
Yeah. This is my first time out trying crappies for here. It's still pretty early. I was out here on a kayak to see if I can catch them staging, but I didn't see anything on my sonar. But there's definitely here now. There's one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got a bobber, and I got about 3 foot of leader, and I got a 16-ounce jig. It's just a white body with a chartreuse tail. Are you just going for bass? Yeah, I like to target crappies. That's my favorite fish, but I only catch them early spring. He got me. Just early spring, but I would like to this year try to explore when they leave and find them where they go. But I hear it's hard because they just go out deep, and especially in this lake here, they just go out and suspend somewhere. Huh? I got one that and the white body with a chartreuse tail, the green tail. Yeah, well, I was lifting up, and then I saw him come up and grab it. I didn't even feel the bite yet. I just saw him come up and he grabbed it, and I was like, oh, I got one. So the trick, guys, is lowering it 1 foot down to 3 feet leader. That really worked. So I think I've caught one, so that means I've definitely keyed the right steps towards the fish. So we're gonna stick with that for now. Not gonna change anything. Still using that white body chartreuse tail. 1/16 ounce jig, 3 feet of leader, and just bobbing it real close to the structure of this bridge here. So as you can see, guys, they're here. But they are smart. They're early staging, so they're not aggressive yet. But if you set it right, do it right, present the bait right, you will have a chance to get into some crappies here. Another thing, guys, for another tip is find your favorite scent. Crappie, I'm a firm believer in scent. There's so many out there that from garlic to shrimp to salmon to crawfish to walleye to anise to salmon eggs. There's so many flavors out there. Just find the one and try it out and see which one you like. But I'm a firm believer in scent, so I believe that scents just give me a little extra bonus. You know, it's like ringing the dinner bell for the fish. Just give a little scent, and that just gives you a better chance to even have a chance to hook up some fish. So fish on, guys. All right, how am I gonna get this? A smallmouth. So guys, even a smallmouth takes it. You know, they love that jig too. So didn't plan on catching a smallmouth, but hey, that's a bonus fish. Bonus fish, I'll take it. Smallmouth is great eating too. So here in this lake, there's no size limit. They let you keep 6 total between a largemouth and a smallmouth. So being this is my first smallmouth and it's not too big, we'll keep him for dinner. So it's not bad. You can join the crappie. Ba smallmouth yo up. Okay. Ugh. So 3 feet, guys, working this right side into the bush here. Same jig that I was telling you, chartreuse white, 3 feet leader. Caught a bonus fish, smallmouth. Earlier today, guys, I was here right before I started fishing. I was just having a little bit of dinner, just some flying J wings. As I was enjoying the wings, I noticed several people are out here fishing for wipers, and as I was sitting there watching them fish, one guy actually hooked up into one. I didn't bring any gear for wiper, or at least any bait for them. But maybe next time, we'll see. Maybe I'll do an episode of some wiper fishing as well. But if the crappies are biting, guys, I'm going to be going for crappies. So you guys will be seeing a few videos of those. Just because crappies are my favorite fish, and I enjoy them, catching them, eating them, and just enjoying the few weeks that we have before they move back out. Where wipers, we'll catch them in the summer and fall too, so they'll be around. The crappies, they only come in here for spawning just for a few weeks into the spring, and then usually early summer they've already spawned and moved back out to the deep waters. And you know what, that's a challenge I would like to work on next. After I get my kayak all set up, I would love to go out and target them out in the main waters and learn where they go after the spawn. So maybe next few episodes I'll work on my kayak and show you guys some of the upgrades I'm doing to kayak as well. Definitely gonna have several of those videos coming out for kayak fishing as well. So hope you guys get to enjoy some of those. Let me know if you like those videos, and if you enjoy those videos, give me a thumbs up and I'll make several more. Maybe we'll target some of these local ponds that are near my home. You know, there's a lot of ponds out here that I have are within 10-15 minute drive. You know, where I'm fishing today, you're looking at a reservoir that's probably about a good 60 miles away from home, so about an hour drive. So usually I don't get out here until the weekends, you know, with work and everything. So try to catch as much videos as I can for you guys to enjoy. But in between, you know, the week, if it's stormy or something I can't get out, maybe I'll make some tip and tactic videos so you guys can learn some of the different techniques I do. Alright guys, second crappie. So crappie number 2. Alright guys, it's getting kind of dark. So far we've been fishing for about an hour and a half. Not too bad. Landed 2 crappies so far. And a bass. Smallmouth. It's getting later and later, so it's going to be hard to see with the lighting and camera. But I'll try to keep it rolling and get a few more. And hopefully we get to land a couple more. But if I don't catch any more in the next few hours that we're here in dark, I'll catch you guys at the house and let you know how we did the rest of the day. But as for right now, we'll continue to fish. There's a little bit of daylight, so I think you guys still can see pretty well, hopefully. Same jig, you know.